Before we talk offense, we have had this conversation off air, and I've been dying to bring it up on air. This is the perfect place to do it. Because of your experience in these rooms, you can pull back the curtain in a way that, most people just can't even consider how challenging this is. Give us an idea of how difficult it is to be both an elite coordinator and an elite recruiter.
It's impossible. The guys that say they're the best coordinators and the best recruiters on their staff, it's really hard because there's only 24 hours in the day. Every second you spend recruiting, you're spending time away from becoming a better coordinator, and vice versa. It's impossible. It's impossible to be the best recruiter and the best coordinator on the planet. And some guys are sitting there going, well, my best recruiter is my defensive coordinator. Is he really? Is he really your best recruiter, or is it what he does as a defensive coordinator that gravitates players towards him? Because you only have X amount of time to contact these kids on a daily basis, and it pulls away from it. You have to be invested in every aspect of it. That's why head coaches that are great recruiters, they're not the ones that are coaching or calling plays as well. Ryan Day has a really, really unique way of going about recruiting, but he's surrounded by rock star recruiters. Not to say Ryan Day's not a rock star recruiter. Ryan Day spends time developing the offense, spends time making sure the defense is getting better, making sure the special teams are doing it. But he knows at the end of the day, when it comes down to a defensive lineman, Larry Johnson is going to be the guy at the end of the day, taking and going to get those guys. I mean, shoot, Zach Harrison's last in-home visit was with Michigan coaches, Al Washington. And you look at it now, like Al was coming over to Ohio State anyways. So it kind of was like a double whammy to go hit that. Al's done a tremendous job as a recruiter. Like I said, Kerry's been outstanding as a recruiter. And you start going down this Brian Hartline. I wrote about him the other day. I said it's a well. It's deep and it's nourishing. I mean, it's loaded with value. He knows how to recruit. He can go get the best receivers in the country to come play for him. Why? He walked the walk. He talked the talk. Brian Hartline played the position at the highest level in the National Football League and then had the ability to go develop guys. And he has seen these guys have incredible success stories since he's been there. Kevin Wilson's the offensive coordinator on paper. Kevin Wilson does a lot of great things. He's an incredible evaluator too. You go work at camp at Ohio State. He's able to watch things. But at the end of the day, like Ryan Day knows who the guys are he's going to send into a home, knowing that guy walks into that house, that family's going to let that young man go to Ohio State with that respective coach. It's really hard to be both of those things. And I think Kerry will be able to focus on what he's really good at, teaching defensive backs and recruiting at a very elite level. The same reason why Larry Johnson's not been in the conversation to call the defense. It's not that Larry Johnson doesn't want to call a defense. Larry Johnson's been coaching college football for 40 years. He's remarkable. But we also know that, like, the defensive line room, if he's not recruiting those guys and he's spending more time worrying about what the coverages are going to be the following week, guess what? Like, something's happening that shouldn't be happening. And that's where you have to go find that balance as you work through it. And it's really, really important. I know from the fact that, like, I always prided myself on being a great recruiter, but I also prided myself on being a great coordinator. When I had to do both those things, that was the hardest aspect of me being a coach, was being able to have to be an elite recruiter as well as an elite coordinator. When you can go back and forth between the two, and not to say this, I just to take a step back. I was never an elite recruiter. I was never on the level that some of these guys are on, but I have in a different fishbowl done that. And when you do that, it's a really, really challenging task.